Coming up on Mountain News this morning, it's the final push before Election Day, and both candidates are trying to lock in battleground votes. Plus, Perry County secured the funding to build a new water treatment plant in eastern Kentucky.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Madison Carmouche. We are at that 6 o'clock mark this Monday morning. Today is November 4th. Let's send it over to meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. That very warm November 4th forecast at that.
Yeah, very warm actually, especially considering how we normally are this time of year. I mean, how are you this morning? Did you need your jacket?
Yeah, I had no, I didn't need it, but I had it, and that's the issue.
That is the issue, and you won't need it either as you're heading out because those current temperatures are quite warm. Across the board, we're really just seeing these temperatures continue to be warm. Normally around this time of year, the high temperature is 62 degrees, but as you're looking at Monticello, 65 is the current temperature. So definitely beating this time of year's typical warm temperatures. So go out and enjoy the day because we will get much warmer than that as we're heading out. And you won't have to worry about any chance for rain. Really just going to be looking at those partly cloudy skies as you're heading into your day. But that will be all. And those are the high temperatures. Really looking in the mid to upper 70s today. So again, quite warm. Partly cloudy skies. You're not going to need that jacket. You're not going to need that umbrella just yet. But as you head into Tuesday, maybe you'll need it just a little bit. But here are the next 12 hours. Warming up gradually throughout the day. We'll have those partly cloudy skies throughout, and it's going to be overall just a wonderful day. Go ahead and go out and head off to the park. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. We are in the final stretch of the 2024 presidential election. Today, the two top candidates are set to make their closing arguments ahead of Election Day tomorrow. It comes as both continued their blitz through multiple battlegrounds during the weekend. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from Washington, D.C.
One day until Election Day and one more chance for former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris to make their pitch to voters.
This is 1,000 times bigger than the Super Bowl.
Today, Trump will hit three battlegrounds, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. During a push last night in Georgia, Trump repeated his plan to put RFK Jr. in charge of health policy.
I said, Bobby, you work on women's health.
Earlier in Pennsylvania, Trump doubled down on unfounded doubts about the results of the election, and his final message is being overshadowed by this.
And I have this piece of glass here. But all we have really over here is the fake news, right? To get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news, and I don't mind that so much.
In a statement, the Trump campaign said the remarks had nothing to do with the media being harmed. Instead, that the former president was stating the media was in danger. Today, Harris is betting big on Pennsylvania, reaching out to Puerto Rican voters in Allentown and holding star-studded get-out-to-vote concerts in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia that'll be live-streamed in coordination with events in other battlegrounds.
We have the power to decide the fate of our nation.
Yesterday in Michigan, Harris visited a black church and a barbershop and tried to appeal to the state's large Arab American population at a rally in East Lansing.
I will do everything in my power to end the war in Gaza.
All as the latest CBS News polls show razor-thin margins separate the candidates in those 7 states that will likely decide the results of the election. Jared Hill, CBS News, Washington, D.C.
The running mates are also hitting the trail today. Senator J.D. Vance will campaign in 4 states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. Governor Tim Walz will also stump through Wisconsin and Michigan. And as we said, Election Day is almost here, and folks across the country are preparing for November 5th. Throughout the Commonwealth, many people have already cast their ballots during early voting. 2 major points on the ballot are Amendment 1 and Amendment 2. Political scientist and government professor at Eastern Kentucky University, Ann Sizemar, explains the importance of these 2 amendments and what you should do before you vote.
I encourage voters to look before they go to the polling location about Amendment 1 and Amendment 2, because the language that is on the ballot by necessity will be very technical or perhaps very long and may not reflect exactly in clear language like we would think of on a day-to-day human conversation level what those amendments are actually going to do.
She says this is why it is important for voters to do their research beforehand to make sure they are well informed on Election Day. To find your polling location and to see a sample ballot, you can go online to govote.ky.com. And as we get closer to Election Day, here are some more local races we are keeping an eye on. In the battle for the 6th Congressional District, Republican and incumbent Andy Barr is taking on Democrat Randy Cravens. Barr has served as the U.S. representative for the state's 6th district since 2013. 5th District Congressman Hal Rogers is running unopposed. Here is the showdown for state representative in the 71st District. That district consists of Laurel, Pulaski, and Rockcastle counties. Republican and incumbent Josh Bray is up against Democrat Rochelle Riddle. Voters in more than 100 Kentucky jurisdictions will see a question on medical cannabis on their ballot this week. It also asks about allowing medical cannabis processors and dispensaries to open in local jurisdictions once it becomes legal in January. You can see the counties where this will be on the ballot on your screen now. Voters in parts of eastern Kentucky can vote about allowing these businesses on both the city and county levels. More than 650,000 Kentuckians voted early. Secretary of State Michael Adams says roughly 200,000 people voted on Saturday. The first and second days of early voting saw record-breaking turnout. Adams says 52.6% of early voters were registered Republicans, 40.3% were Democrats, and 7.1% were registered as independents or other. In total, close to 800,000 Kentuckians have cast their ballots so far. Social media could be influencing a new demographic to head to the polls. Annalise Russell, an associate professor at UK, says there isn't a lot of research on the connection between social media and voter turnout. However, big celebrities like Taylor Swift can help encourage younger voters to participate civically.
Maybe they're more likely to vote now because there's an authenticity that comes across on social media.
Russell says while social media can help to inform, it can also spread misinformation. Funding is heading toward eastern Kentucky to help build a new water treatment plant in the area. The Hazard Perry County Economic Development Alliance applied for the Kentucky Product Development Initiative funding in 2023. Now, $4.2 million will go directly to the Coalfields Regional Economic Development Authority. Zach Lawrence is the executive director of the Economic Development Alliance, and he says this funding will be beneficial to Perry County as well as the surrounding counties.
The city of Hazard's making a transformational investment in the water system here. We thought, what better way than to pair something like this with that to also then get funding to turn around and do a 42-acre build-ready site.
Organizers say the output is 3 million gallons per day of excess water capacity directly to Coalfields Regional Industrial Park.
Another great day is in store for us. We have these great temperatures, partly cloudy skies. But one thing you may not know is we're going to be a little windy today. As we take a look at those future view wind gusts, that 6 a.m. hour, we're starting to see about 19 mile per hour winds in Harlan. And as we continue, it'll get a little bit better. And as we go into your Tuesday, we'll see a little bit more winds for the area. Current temperatures, though, looking quite nice and warm in the 50s with some places in that 60-degree mark. And we'll continue to warm up into your highs for your Monday with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s throughout the day. Again, seeing those partly cloudy skies alongside of it. Next 12 hours, though, we'll be warming up to the high temperature at that 4 p.m. mark, continuing to see those cloudy skies throughout it. Stick with us. More mountain news is on the way.